Greetings from the Dauphin Rail Museum. My name is Jason Gilmore, and I just wanted to provide a brief update regarding a column that was written in the Dauphin Herald, published on the 8th of April. What I'm going to do is read our statement regarding that article. This is in direct response to the column titled "Saving Rail Turntable Not Feasible, Says Mayor," in the April 8th, 2025 edition of the Dauphin Herald. This story was a reply to the March 1st column written by myself titled "What Value Can Be Placed on Preserving History?" The beginning of the article states that there are no options to achieve the rail turntable preservation. There has been a counterproposal provided to the city in December 2024 that would double the amount of space closest to the shop's building and still keep the turntable in its current location. This was estimated to be approximately an additional 2,900 square feet. This would allow for easier equipment movement and carry on the legacy of the 17 community members that raised funds to preserve that site for future generations. The Rail Museum was not privy to conversations between the City of Dauphin and Canadian National Railway regarding the assertions made by the Mayor, including safety, property lines, and liability. In the past, when I've had direct meetings with the former City Public Works head, Bill Brennan, and subsequently Mike Van Alstyne, these concerns were never expressed at any point. The museum has actively sent visitors to the location, however it has always been done with the utmost respect for the city shop area and safety, fully realizing it is an active work site. If a fence was put up around the entire public works site, could not the turntable be made available on a very limited basis for public viewing with promotion? Say several times a year with city supervision if needed. This proposal was provided, but once again shot down. The Mayor's assertion that the Rail Museum Group has taken no action to preserve the turntable or of any plans for doing so going forward is incorrect. Over the past several years, we have gone out to the site with the city's permission to at least clean up the overgrowth of vegetation in the turntable pit area. Last year, the fence surrounding the area was stapled to the posts, and to gain access, you had to crawl on your belly on the ground to go under the fence. Not exactly convenient to those that wish to maintain the turntable, and in fact, I ripped a shirt doing so. There are emails dating back to 2022 where the Rail Museum has made attempts to have the transfer of the lease of the turntable from Fort Dauphin Museum to us, but with no success. Fort Dauphin Museum in April 2022 wrote to the Rail Museum in an email that their board was not interested in the turntable and will advise the City of Dauphin that we will approve the Railway Museum to obtaining the turntable and amend our lease agreement to reflect this. This unfortunately never did occur. We ask why. How could the Dauphin Rail Museum provide a plan for a site that has never been under our direct control? The Mayor asserts that we'll cut a piece out of it, some parts of it. Is that how you respect a historic artifact in this community where the 129-year legacy of railway here, or the 17 community members that raised funds in 1993 to preserve this artifact? We find this language used regarding this matter not only disconcerting, but in complete opposition to the 2024 city plan that explicitly states, protect, preserve, and promote our built and natural heritage resources. Words are meaningless if not followed. Actions speak louder than words. The Mayor also expressed that we don't have a plan and asserted we don't have one. How could we know that given that the meeting with the city to discuss these plans did not take place till April 11th, which was 3 days after the publication of this story? We were given 10 days to 2 weeks to provide a response after they indicated full removal of the turntable, a tactic that was to provide pressure on our part as the city budget was due this month, April. The fact that other city staff and history buffs in the community have searched for other museums and organizations willing to preserve the turntable in its entirety is, quite frankly, a little bit of a puzzling statement. We have been the only heritage organization that has shown any interest in trying to preserve and beautify this site, and yet we've never were approached prior to December 2024. The implication is that part of Dauphin's history is expendable, and the people that have attempted to care and manage the site were given no voice. We question, why is that? The Dauphin turntable belongs to the history of Dauphin, is not a commodity that can be sold to the highest bidder. The turntable was to have been turned over to the Rail Museum and was not completed when it should have, but has been attempted for the past 3 to 4 years. In the end, once again, the Dauphin Rail Museum has existed since 2002. All we have ever done is try to present this area's rich railway history and greet visitors to the area as a unique point of interest. All questions that the Dauphin Rail Museum continues to have: why are we not included as willing partners in trying to grow our tourism footprint? We ask that we all pull in the same direction. So once again, this is just a point of clarification given the article that was published in an interview with Sean Bailey with the Dauphin Herald on April 8th, 2025. So hopefully this fills in a little bit of the gaps from our perspective provided in that statement and interview. So any questions? Feel free to contact us at the Dauphin Rail Museum on Facebook, by email. Our email is thedauphinrailmuseum@gmail.com. So have a great day. Thank you.